Imagine an advanced island civilization, sophisticated art, running water, trade networks across the ancient world. And then one morning, without warning, the mountain, in the middle of the island, exploded, one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history. The explosion was heard in Scandinavia. The ash fell on Egypt. The tsunami swept across the entire Mediterranean. The island partially collapsed into the sea. The civilization was gone in hours. And the memory of what happened may have traveled through generations of storytelling, through an Egyptian priest who told a Greek statesman named Solon, who passed it to his family, who passed it to Plato, who wrote it down as Atlantis. This is the Santorini theory, and it is the strongest candidate we have. The island is now called Santorini. Its ancient name was Thera, southern Aegean Sea, about 200 kilometers southeast of mainland Greece. What you see when you visit today is the aftermath. The spectacular caldera, the collapsed center of the volcanic island, now filled with sea. The steep cliffs where the volcano rim still stands. The island is still volcanic, still has hot springs. Minor earthquakes still happen. The eruption happened around 1600 BC, one of the largest in the last 10,000 years. The ash from Thera has been found in ice cores in Greenland, in sediment layers in Turkey, in Egyptian records. It was a global event, visible across the entire ancient world, and someone out there remembered it. The Minoan civilization that lived on Thera and across the Aegean is extraordinary based on Crete. With outposts including Akrotiri on Thera, the Minoans were seafarers, traders, and artists. They built palaces without defensive walls. They felt safe enough not to need them. They had running water, flush toilets, sophisticated drainage. In 1600 BC, their art was vivid and joyful. People leaping over bulls, dolphins painted on every surface. A civilization that seems from its art to have genuinely enjoyed being alive. And then Thera erupted, and the Minoan world never fully recovered. Something was broken. Something ended. And the memory of what was lost may be exactly what Plato called Atlantis. Akrotiri is the Minoan settlement on Thera preserved by the eruption. Like Pompeii, preserved by Vesuvius. The ash that destroyed the town also sealed it, kept it intact, under meters of pumice for 3,600 years. When archaeologist Spiridon Marinatos excavated Akrotiri in 1967, he found multi-story buildings still standing, furniture in place, pottery on shelves, grain in storage jars, and frescoes, extraordinary frescoes. The boxing children, the fishermen, the spring fresco with swallows and flowers, an entire ancient world frozen in the moment before disaster. Akrotiri has been called the Minoan Pompeii. And like Pompeii, it gives us a window into a daily life that would otherwise have vanished without leaving a single trace. The similarities between Akrotiri and Plato's Atlantis are striking. Both island civilizations, both sophisticated and wealthy, both maritime powers, both destroyed by a catastrophe involving the sea. And when Thera erupted, the caldera collapsed. The center of the island fell into the sea, an island partly swallowed by the ocean. Just as Plato described, the tsunami swept across the Aegean. The memory of this event would have been enormous and lasting. The Bronze Age world that survived would have remembered, told the story, passed it on, changed in the telling. The time scale pushed much further back. The location shifted, the scale made bigger. But at the core, an island civilization swallowed by the sea. The memory may have survived, all the way to Plato. But there are problems, significant ones. The timeline is wrong. Plato says Atlantis was destroyed 9,000 years before Solon. The Theran eruption happened around 1600 BC. Solon lived around 600 BC. That is only 1,000 years before Solon, not 9,000. The timeline is off by a factor of 9. Defenders say the Egyptian priests misread their records. 900 years became 9,000 by a scribal error. Possible, but convenient. And the location is also wrong. Plato puts Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean beyond Gibraltar. Thera is in the Aegean, the wrong sea entirely. Defenders say the location changed in the retelling. Also possible. But to accept this theory, you have to believe Plato got both the date and the location completely wrong. Santorini, the best candidate. The strongest archaeological evidence. The most plausible connection between a real catastrophe and a legendary one. The most convincing explanation for how the memory could have survived and reached Plato. But not proven. Not settled. The timeline and the location are real problems. And the honest position of serious scholarship is this. Thera is the most likely inspiration for Plato's account, if Plato was working from real historical memory at all. But we do not know that he was. Atlantis may simply be what Plato said it was, a philosophical device, invented to make a point. And the Santorini theory, compelling as it is, cannot prove otherwise. The search continues, and the next episode looks at another candidate. Older, stranger, and in some ways even more compelling.